Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we actually have a very big and very serious story to talk about. This is a big one coming out about G2, regarding the offseason, kind of involving, some more offseason rumor speculation. We're definitely going to be able to dig some information out of this story, but mostly it is involving the big allegations today that came out from Mad Lions about G2, accusing them of, potentially tampering, potentially poaching, attempting to poach, just kind of breaking rules regarding talking with other teams' players, trying to recruit other teams' players, trying to steal away other teams' players that are currently under contract. And again, this could have big ramifications for G2, for the players involved. It could mean suspensions, it could mean fines, it could mean, limitations put on G2 or just other teams in the future. And depending on how this story goes, it could, really change the outlook of the LEC, the futures of a ton of different teams, players, coaches, organizations, and everything. So this is actually going to be a very big story to dive into, and was a real bomb to come out today. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate it so much. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. I have a ton of awesome, exciting videos coming out in the near future. I want to be your #1 source for League of Legends news in this offseason and into the future. And consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, kind of a decently long article to get through. There's definitely going to be a lot of times I want to stop and talk about stuff, so we won't waste any more time. We will jump right into it. This story is coming from Jacob Wolf from Esports. Sources: Mad Lions accuses G2 of tampering, and the LEC owners have passed a vote 8-2 calling for the reevaluation of global rules. So obviously, Mad Lions is calling out G2. A lot of the LEC is on their side. Does this mean anything will happen? Does this mean anything's gonna happen? I don't know. Let's jump into the article. Ahead of the League of Legends offseason in November, Mad Lions has alleged tampering by G2 Esports and pushed for a vote in recent owners' meetings, asking Riot Games' LEC office to lobby Riot's global esports department to revise the global tampering and poaching rules. This is what sources are telling Esports. The meetings occurred on September 2nd and 3rd, so this was about 2 weeks ago. So it's not like they were just poaching people today. Everyone's saying the offseason hasn't started yet. No one's talking to anyone yet. You're an idiot if you think teams at Worlds are having to deal with anything yet, blah, 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 blah. But Worlds still hasn't even started. The group draw hasn't even started. Play-ins hasn't even started. And we're talking about G2 potentially having tampered with players 2 weeks ago. And that's just when the vote happened. The tampering occurred before that. So this is more than 2 weeks ago. Carlos and G2 are getting started early this year. And I just want this to be a wake-up call to a ton of people out there as well, that a lot of teams start their off seasons very early, because even if you're a team at Worlds, if you're not starting your offseason already, you're potentially missing out on players and potential moves for the future. Now, yes, could things change if your team goes and does very well at Worlds? Yes, but again, don't be so naive. Don't be so ignorant to think that there aren't teams at Worlds right now talking about their rosters for next season. They absolutely are. I mean, again, earlier I talked about the news that Broken Blade and G2 have already agreed to a verbal contract agreement for 2022. Again, things are already happening. Yes, it is September 15th. Yes, I understand that. Things are happening. Believe it. Trust me. Things are already happening behind the scenes. I hope, people do start to understand this more and more. Whether you like it or don't like it, that's how things are. This vote did pass 8-2. Again, G2 voted no, obviously, and it is funny that Vitality was the other team to vote no, that they argued the current rule set is not being properly enforced, and amendments or changes to those rules should only come after proper enforcement of the rules. Riot said in a statement to Dot that no official complaint has been filed by any team at this point, but again, that could change in the near future. The most recent published version of the Riot Games Global Penalty Index outlines 3 different statutes about tampering and poaching, which are all very interesting. The first, if a player tampers with another player to recruit them to another team, again, while they're under contract with another org, this carries a minimum suspension of 5 months with a maximum of 10 months. There is another rule that says non-player members or affiliates of a team they're prohibited from enticing or offering employment to a player contracted with another org. The potential for that is indefinite with that violation. And the third rule says a player or coach may not solicit an offer of employment from another team. So even if you are the one getting poached, you can obviously still get in trouble for, having those conversations behind the back of your organization. So these allegations of tampering come amid uncertainty within G2 about how it will proceed for the future. They did just sign caps to this new extension, but they are evaluating, this is per Jacob Wolf, the future of Wonder, Reckless, and Mickey, and Grab. So, this is obviously a very, very big, very, very reliable, very, very respected source in Jacob Wolf, saying, because a lot of people still don't believe it, that G2 is shopping around Wonder, is shopping around Reckless, Mickey, and Grabs. Who he doesn't say here is Jankos. Now, is that a mistake? Did he leave this out? Is G2 not shopping Jankos? Are they shopping Jankos? Did he forget? I don't know, because he doesn't really make a clear statement about that, and I think he should have. But again, he does say at least Wonder, Reckless, Mickey, and Grab. So that is another interesting tidbit there. And then also something to note is that these, allegations are coming from Mad Lions. So just think about who potentially G2 is trying to poach there as well, which is very, very interesting. So what Jacob Wolf does go on to say here is that despite tension between the two, Mad Lions has granted a tryout for G2 with its Super Liga team. AD Carry flaked, and sources familiar with the discussion said G2 is also interested in Carzzy, which is very, very interesting. Is that who they are poaching? Is that who they're going after? It seems like it. He doesn't, explicitly say that in this article. But, there were at some point some G2 Arma rumors going around. Obviously, now that they have this agreement with Broken Blade, that doesn't seem likely. There were rumors, for the longest time that there would be obvious interest in Kaiser. And Kaiser's obviously signed that extension with Mad Lions. But Carzzy is set to be a free agent in November. Carzzy has not signed that extension with Mad Lions, and we know that they have been in contract negotiations. We know that they've been in extension talks. So to hear that there are tampering allegations coming out from Mad Lions, that G2 is potentially shopping around Reckless, and knowing that Carzzy still hasn't signed his contract extension, you can start to put one and one together. You can get two out of that whole situation and understand that Reckless could be on the move. Carzzy could be leaving Mad Lions, and he could end up at G2, which would be very, very crazy. So this story was just big for a ton of different reasons, because those tampering allegations are out there, and this is nothing new. G2 has dealt with tampering allegations before. I even talked about this last offseason. Carlos is constantly tweeting at other players, kind of insinuating them coming to G2 in the future. They posted that video with the G2 self-made jersey. These are things that would not be allowed in at least traditional American sports, that I'm very, very familiar with. People would absolutely see that as tampering. That would absolutely lead to fines, if not suspensions. And Riot and the LEC are kind of in a weird place because, they don't really want to piss off Carlos and G2 because they make a ton of money off them. They also have some incentive to want G2 to be a successful, good team and to be able to get good players, but they also risk, pissing off some of the smaller teams if they constantly let G2 and Carlos just do whatever they want, break all the rules, steal everybody's players. So it is a very, very fine line. Now, are suspensions going to come out for anyone? I don't expect that. Are fines going to come out? Possibly. Is Carlos, G2, anyone going to get a slap on the wrist? Are these accusations and allegations even true? Are they baseless? Are they maybe kind of true? You never really know. But again, we know that 8 teams voted for this, so maybe there are some other teams pissed off with G2 as well. And again, if G2 is just trying to poach Mad Lions players, I think it would be pretty safe to assume they're potentially, breaking some rules and trying to poach some other players as well. But then again, diving into this whole story, it just goes so deep. There's so much going on here. But it is at least interesting to see Mad Lions fighting back, Mad Lions taking a stand, trying to protect their players, trying to protect their org, and also adding to this G2 Mad Lions rivalry at the same time. But yeah, some very, very big stuff coming out of here. Again, nothing official has actually been, put into Riot yet. They don't have to make any decisions on anything yet. They obviously haven't come to any decisions yet. This is an ongoing developing story. We will have to see what happens here. But this is a very, very big bomb. These are very, very serious, claims being made by Mad Lions, and we'll have to see where this goes. But again, those, just the information we're able to learn about the offseason, about G2 and Mad Lions from this whole story, is just more stories in and of itself, and is also very, very interesting. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think Riot should do in this instance? Do you think, G2 and Carlos need to be stopped? Do you think Mad Lions is overreacting, lying? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay updated on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.